Hello everyone and welcome back to another Worms WMD game. Your host, Trixnecty, coming at you again from the PC. Again, once these games start filling up, they just go straight to 6. Or at least in this case 5. We have purple in the game, green, red, blue. I'm playing a cyan, but I'm just sinking my worm. This map is a large multi-island. You can see that there is a building on either side. Back and forth whether to leave buildings in or out. They do add a nice feature in these multiplayer games, but I don't think they work well in cage matches. See, there's kind of a spire on both the right and left side, and a small building in the middle. I believe each player is going to get 3 worms. 2 worms, I apologize, 2 worms. So it's going to be a little bit quicker of a game. I believe this is red's turn. Blue and green on the right side so far. Purple chose the left side. Red's going to end up getting auto-spawned on the right side. So that leaves 3 players on one island and 1 player on the other. Just me sinking my worm. Purple choosing the same island before. So Purple has complete dominion over that island right now. There's 2 buildings on that island, so that's going to be a good advantage. There's a drill boat there too. Seeing as this is an island map, that might come in handy later. There's a helicopter on the right. Don't think there are any more vehicles. Blue choosing to gain high ground there. Green going for a quick spawn. Ends up getting it right in between the drill boat and the building on the left. It's going to be trapped right in between purple there. And I think purple is going to have an early turn. Red deciding to spawn right on top of green. And that is all the spawn-ins I believe there is. Blue will have the first turn in this game. 30 seconds per turn. Going immediately for the craft. Imagine everyone's crafting right now. Almost getting red in there. If that worm would have triggered a little bit to the left from that fire. 5 seconds for the turn. Going for a dodgy phone bomb. Getting the connect. Good turn. Yeah, red almost fell in there. I would have been very close. Had that fire shot red's worm to the left. Been out. Boggy's now on 50% health. At 50 health, too. Going for a little bit of revenge here. I can see, and I understand why green went for that, trying to avoid that mine, but I think it wouldn't have been too hard, especially seeing green's skill level later. You know, doing things like that, being able to get it out in 1 second. I think there were better options, but perhaps green didn't craft anything on the first turn. Shooting blue right off the edge. Beautiful turn. Very much underestimated that mine there, but there was nothing stopping blue from getting shot through there. And with that, blue is down a worm. Red's bottom worm here. Almost not making it up there. Perfect. Just getting right on top of the statue with 0 fuel left in that jetpack. Manual going for a craft. I believe that is blue. That won't finish off green. If I remember correctly, that's going to be 30 points of damage, bringing Boggy down to 20. Probably would have done better with a mine there. Or even a grenade, probably. Can't see anything going on in this building. You're going to see some of that this game. Particularly these buildings on the left and right, these pinnacle-style buildings, steeples. Purple hopping in the drill boat. Eyeing up both this red and green worm here are in a perfect position and probably going to drop a team fortress turret. Now, this turret is unique to PC. I had always played on Xbox. I don't know if PlayStation has a unique weapon, but I believe it's a... You know, if you played party games on the Xbox, this character comes down from another video game, and she shoots this kind of array across the field. Very comical, very overpowered. You never see it in competitive play. In the Xbox, we don't have the Team Fortress 2 turret, or the Team Fortress turret. And on the PC, you don't have the character. It's like Sarah something. You're going to see that Team Fortress turret here again on the right side. Yep, not on Xbox, but totally on PC, and boy, is it powerful. This is pro scheme. Now anything moves there, yeah, it's going to get torn apart by that turret. And that is perfect. Taking out both green and red there. Leaving purple in the top with both worms. Believe blue has one worm left at 100 health. Red's just under 100 health, and green is down to just a single worm with 20 health left. Next we'll be rotating back to, I believe, red. Red taking that health pack. I think putting it above blue. Getting a little stuck there on terrain. Gotta watch out for that mine. Certainly not gonna be able to move in time. Losing that impact got from the health pack, dropping it right below blue again. And the helicopter's pretty damaged there. Purple going for the dubstep turret. Going for a cross map on, I believe, blue. Here. Targeting either the Team Fortress turret that's up there on the top of the steeple, or trying to get blue shot out of that area. And it doesn't look like it'll get rid of either the turret or blue, but I think it ends up doing enough damage to move that turret back, at least. You can see where blue is here this turn, likely. Just barely see, yeah, right next to the turret. Maybe that turret ended up taking some of that damage from that dubstep turret because it looks like it's sparking, and it looks like the worm that blue had was right next to it. So that might have actually been a really great play to put that turret right in front of blue's own worm there. Looks like blue is placing down a girder. Probably going to use it as a defensive measure. The question is, what does green go for here? Because sensibly, purple is out of range. And the greatest threat is going to be red, because red's going to have the next closest turn. I don't know if this is the right idea, but hopping out of that turret at the perfect time, getting shot across from a mine that was inside, I think that's going to drop green out. Yeah, the 27 points. But that was a fantastic exit from that helicopter, if I can say so. Back to red here with a little bit more room now that green's gone. This map was definitely too small for 4 people, but same story as last time. It's very difficult to get a cage match in this game. Once people see there's 2 people in a lobby, 3 people in a lobby, everyone joins pretty quickly. You see these lobbies fill up pretty fast. It's red that I'm not sure knows how this turret works. I think red's in quite a pickle here. That turret knows if you move even from behind a vehicle. Now that's the thing. If you have terrain there, the turret won't detect it. But if that vehicle is there and you move behind the vehicle and you're in the range, you're going to get shot. And especially if there's explosives like this Team Fortress turret does have. As soon as you take damage, your turn's over. Purple going for a girder. Despite the early loss that blue has, blue's had a really good job at preserving the worm behind that turret there at least. Making sure blue doesn't lose any more health. Purple's done the same thing. Really defensive strategy for blue, but kind of semi-offensive for purple. Doesn't really need to play a hardcore defense when you're on your own island. Getting shot with a homing turret there, getting launched off the side, doing 40 points of damage. Not bad. Not bad at all. I believe we will cycle back to purple. Now back to red, and that is why I don't remember that turn. It's going to be 2 damage to red. I think the drill bow gets destroyed, dealing an additional 11. This is going to be purple's turn. No. Blue will have the next turn, then red. Switching to a parachute mid-flight. It's just the kind of stuff you can't do on controller, you can do on mouse and keyboard. Or at least is very difficult to do. We'll have 3 seconds. We'll be able to make a turn. Looks like purple sees something in here and just stops mid-track. Now you remember that there's a turret up there. So if purple continues within that range, purple's turn's over. Blue's going to have a very easy shot on that purple worm. Plenty of time to make it, too. Yeah, I'll go for a dynamite. That should do 65 points of damage, maybe a minimum of 60. Finishing off that worm. Bringing purple right down next to where blue's at, pretty much. If they're not even, they're very close. This is red's turn. Yeah, you want to go right for that teleport as soon as you spawn in. As soon as you take control over that worm. Or a girder. But do not move. So right now, the match is dead even for surprisingly how blue started this game, having lost a worm on a really amazing turn by, I believe, green. Now it's even. Now it's deadlocked. Both players have their own island, have 1 single worm left. I believe a player is going to disconnect, and it's going to cause us to be out for a little bit. So we'll skip ahead here. Purple back on the dubstep cannon. A little bit better of a shot on blue. Hopefully being able to get blue off the edge. Almost, and no luck on it. Rarely do you see people use that, so it's an underwhelming weapon in the way that at least its accuracy is. But over a long course, over a long range, I think it's more accurate than the turret. But its accuracy really doesn't feel like it changes very much whether you're shooting something, you know, like 10 units away, 10 units of distance away, or 100 units of distance away. It feels like it's just as accurate. But if something's close, you want to use a normal turret to kind of get it, if the option is available. Dropping down a normal auto turret here. Or maybe it's a, I believe that is a light version of an auto turret. It's very difficult to see from this angle. Going for a homing missile from purple. I think that will be an easy shot to connect. Giving it just a little bit of juice. Lands right in there. 45 points of damage, bringing blue down to 30. Purple is at 75, if I remember correctly. This is a pretty good defense against most things. So blue now has a repel magnet, which is going to deflect most metallic weapons that purple can throw at it. But that doesn't affect everything. So well-placed Kind of starts with this weapon and ends with this weapon. A well-placed, I apologize. That's what ends up getting used next. That might actually be what purple gets on this turn. No, going for the homing missile, or going for the airstrike. I guess you'll see it in a second. I kind of spoiled it, but a weapon that we saw earlier is going to get used again. You can see that airstrike does absolutely nothing with that repel magnet there, besides maybe clearing a little bit of debris in the hopes that purple is going to use something else. I try to craft a drill bomb for situations like this where we see a lot of buildings. I don't think it necessarily does anything, but blue managing to deal 7 points of damage from the destroyed turret there. Purple's going to have a high wind advantage this turn. It's going to be pretty easy to get things across the map. And going for that, yep, that's it, that dodgy phone bomb. Managing to land it there. Now, you see it's going to connect with the turret, and that means it's going to connect right back with blue. Finishing off this game. GG to everyone involved, and thank you. To everyone who's watched, join this game this week. We'll see you guys next week. Peace. Now, before I actually close out, you can see the damage that was dealt was most by blue. So this is kind of controversial. Should we consider the person that won, the person who dealt the most damage? Or should we have like a secondary winner for the person who did the most damage? Which actually, in this situation, is green. But I don't know how much of that is... how that's counted. But green did the most amount of damage, so in some situations you might consider green the winner. Especially because purple did less damage than the second place contender, which was blue, and the first place contender for damage, which was green. And red did very little damage there that game. But yeah. All right, thank you guys for joining me. I will see you guys next time. Peace.